we're talking about the legal like the legal for the board members, right? Mm-hmm. Where is the line drawn when there is a community management? Like, you guys are brought in right in the, you're invited to the party of the legal, which is.
No, that's
not a party.
Yeah. No, that's a
that's
a phenomenal question. I think always of projects because the day-to-day is just simple day-to-day things that we're managing the vendors, managing the team on site, providing strong communication to the residents so that at least they know what's going on with the community. I think that there always is a little bit of a gray side, right? Because sometimes the statute does go a little bit too far where it requires quorum requirements and the notices to be done by the attorney. I think we could have done that, right? But ultimately, there is that balance. And that's why the relationship isn't just between the board and the manager. There should be a relationship. Like I push my managers, try to have a relationship with your attorney, your association attorney. Call. And it's not call and waste their time, but once you build a strong relationship with the attorney, they'll give you tips and advice. And because you're already, there's a strong relationship where it's not every single second, I'm going to charge you exactly 5 seconds for the call that I had. So yes, there is some gray side. I would say the gray side is once you're into proposals and you're moving into the next stage, as a manager, your head should be already thinking, okay, technically, when you were getting proposals, you should already have the conversation with your attorney so that you're priming them, hey, how are you looking with your load? Because that's the other thing. Boards believe that attorneys are there just waiting for the case, and then here's the contract. Okay, Eric, I need the contract tomorrow. It doesn't work that way. So you want to say, hey, Eric, I got a big deal coming down the pipe. How are you looking? Okay, this is how I'm looking. All right, perfect. This one I kind of need rushed because the board is putting pressure. But that only happens if you have a relationship.
Is that something that you guys take care of as a property management? Do you guys handle the conversations with how does that work?
Great question.
For a company for people that don't know what the dynamics is?
Great question. So I think, and I hate to give you an attorney response, it really depends. And I'll tell you why, because you have some very involved boards and you have some very hands-off boards. If you ask me what's my recommendation, I would want at least one board member on the call so that there's not he said, she said. Everything's always going to be documented because both parties, Eric and I, know how important it is to document in emails and make sure that this is what we left off. But I think it's important either the president or someone on the board designates a liaison if everyone's too busy to, Diana's going to be the one in charge that's working with management for the contract reviews. Because then it also becomes a ping pong game where we get the red line from the attorney, we review it, okay, this looks right, send it to the board, then the board is like, no, do this, then we're in the middle, Eric, no, they want this, and then Eric gets, and we just spent 4 hours, and then they get Eric's bill and they'll complain. So it's, look, let's get a liaison in the call.
All I hear is, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Yeah, no, but it's not intentional, honestly, and it's not because he's here. This is how I feel in general. It's important. You have a liaison, and what you're doing as a liaison is just listening. Look, we agree with this. We don't agree with this. We're taking the notes. That's really our responsibility. We're there to support them. Take the notes. Okay, this is what the board wants. This is what they're looking for. And then we're checking in. Hey, are we on time with this? So that's my take. I don't know, Eric.
No,
you see it a little bit differently.
Sometimes management companies are in a very difficult spot.
Yeah.
Because you absolutely know when the situation calls for letting the attorney know what's going on here. But when Raphael will say, hey, we got to bring the attorney in, you'll get fight back sometimes.
Yeah.
No, what do you mean bring the attorney in?
Yep.
No, you have to. You have to. So, sometimes, though, it becomes a fight,
You're
I guess,
like in
between
the middle,
you and the client.
it's like you get punched from every place.
That's the tough part of our industry. Honestly, one of the reasons why I'm passionate about doing what we do here with the education and the videos, because I think it's important to understand what we do. If we're not taking the time, I wish more of my competitors did this, believe it or not. And the reason being is because it's important for people to know what we do. And the importance of how much we rely on our partners, such as attorneys, such as pool landscapers, contractors, and so forth, to provide us the information that's necessary to provide the information then back to the board. It's not up to us. Many times we wish it was up to us because we could move things much faster, but then comes more challenges. So I think overall, yes, we are in a very difficult position, but we enjoy seeing our board members get to that vision that they have in mind, guiding them And more than anything at Affinity, what we enjoy most is really seeing our team members grow, and that's why we do what we do. So,
Okay, so for takeaways, like, how can people avoid getting in trouble legally? I know we went through this whole thing, but if you could give us like the
Completely stay off the board. No, I'm kidding.
that's it. I'm good.
No, kidding. And I think both of us agree. It's education plays
Yeah,
a major
100%.
role. I think we're always going to get back to that.
yeah.
Education plays a major role.
I got definitely take the course for sure. So number one. Number two, get a partner by your side, a company that can help you navigate all the complexities. Have an attorney on dial speed. And just
I would want to add one that's super important, and I know people may say I'm just too optimistic, and it's who I am, but it's who I am, and it's what we guide our team members with is having an open mind, right? In the sense of we're not the enemy, the management company or the attorney. We're not the enemy. We're really working for the board of directors. So, just being open minded. You wouldn't treat the way sometimes our team members get treated. You wouldn't treat your kids that way, and I'm not saying to treat us like kids. So maybe that was a bad analogy. What I'm trying to say is just being very positive of, okay, this is what's going on. Let me get your take. We can disagree to disagree. That's business. That's part of the process. So, but let's have an open communication. We can lay all the cards on the table. Look, this is what we like to see. This is what's working. This is not what's working, and just have it in a positive fashion rather this negative fashion as do this for me, and if you don't do it, I'm going to get you fired. That's not the way you're going to get
I'll
people.
even take that one step
Yeah,
further, and
sure,
you're going to
sure.
laugh probably when you hear that. Who do we hear that most from?
Oh, my
People that
goodness.
say, I've been on the board 20, 25 years. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That's the first person I want to take the education class.
Yeah.
Because they probably know the least. When someone talks to you like that, they probably know the least. They know nothing. They're the first ones that I want to go to school and have board certified.
yeah.
People that think they know everything.
There's a saying I don't know if in Spanish is my mom, yo sé. It's like, si tú sabes tanto que sabes a feo. You're like, you know so much that you just stink kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So thank you for giving us your time, for letting us know how to not get in trouble legally, to stay compliant. And there's so many different aspects of compliance that we didn't even scratch the surface.
Yep.
You talked,
We can go for days.
For days,
Yeah,
for days.
really. Yeah.
discrimination, pets, there's safety. So we could probably do a couple more of these.
Yeah,
100%.
We can.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you for having
No
me.
problem. Thank you, Eric, for being on.
Thank you
Always
very
a
much.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
And for those of you who would like to know more about Affinity, please visit managebyaffinity.com. And for those people that want to learn more about you, Eric, where do they go?
GlazerSax.com.
Thank you, and see you on the next one.